Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, a lone explorer discovered an old car, and he made his way through the dense vegetation to assess the damage. He cleared the debris from the trunk and cabin, revealing a car that had lost all of its former glory. After a preliminary inspection and confirmation of the extent of the damage, he gave the order, beginning the first steps of an incredible restoration. Soon, a team had assembled. With combined strength, they pulled the carcass from the grass, pushing it into the open field where a recovery vehicle was waiting. The next challenge was to get the fragile vehicle onto the truck. Ramps were laid, and with great effort, the team pushed and guided the skeletal truck onto the flatbed. Once secured, its journey back to civilization began. A slow journey through the countryside and into a workshop. Inside the garage, the truck was carefully unloaded, and the real work began. After the entire chassis was dismantled, the meticulous restoration process began. The high heat of a welding torch was skillfully used to weld together the scorched and rusted metal of the truck cab. Sparks of electricity were blown into the old frame, patching holes and reinforcing weak joints. Where the metal was dented, a hammer was used with precision, bringing the damaged metal back to its original shape. The chassis itself was not spared either. It was carefully repaired and reinforced with new welds, ensuring a solid foundation for the build. Once the welding was complete, an angle grinder was used, smoothing out the rough joints until they were flush with the surrounding metal. This meticulous process was repeated across the entire frame and cab, preparing the surface for the next stage. Next, a coat of primer is sprayed on, coating the repaired metal in a uniform gray, protecting it from the elements and creating a perfect base for what's to come. Now the art begins. Body filler is skillfully applied with a putty knife, filling in any remaining dents and imperfections, smoothing out old scars. Layer by layer, the truck's surface is restored to its original contours. Every inch of the cab is meticulously smoothed, turning the once battered shell into a perfect canvas, ready for the final, brilliant coat of paint. The engine block was shining in a fresh coat of green paint, and it was time to bring it back to life. Fresh oil was carefully poured, an important step in preparing the heart of the truck for its rebirth. The focus then shifted to the vibrant blue cabin, where the interior began to take shape once again. The sleek black dashboard was meticulously installed, followed by the fuse box, a vital part of the truck's electrical system. The instrument cluster was carefully installed in place, and the steering column was secured, allowing the driver's controls to be reassembled. The front windshield was expertly installed with new rubber seals. Inside, the refurbished driver's seat was placed back in place. On the outside, the front bumper and headlights were installed, and windshield wipers were installed, giving the front end a finishing touch. The truck bed, a testament to the devastation caused by the fire, was the next big task. The charred and rotted bed panels were stripped away, exposing the metal frame underneath. A torch cut through the damaged sections, removing anything that couldn't be salvaged. Once the old frame was cleared, new metal bars were welded into place, painstakingly recreating each section of the bed's foundation, ensuring the bed was sturdy and ready for a new floor and a new life. With a steady hand, the spray gun breathed new life into the restored truck bed. A coat of vibrant green paint was expertly applied over the gray primer, transforming the damaged metal into a shiny, uniform surface. Every inch from the floor to the side panels was given a fresh coat of paint, completing the striking color scheme. Now, final assembly was ready. With perfect coordination, the new truck bed was lifted and moved into position, then gently lowered onto the chassis. Bold black vinyl SUZUKI lettering was meticulously applied to the front of the key was turned in the ignition, and after a brief silence, rolled out of the workshop. That's it for today's car rebuilding session. Thank you for following along.